I need to turn this off. Get out of here. I need to turn this off. So that they can do it.
Hi. Hi, Michael. How are you? Excellent, sir. How are you?
Good. Are you eating a protein bar, Mike?
Am I ever not?
Have you ever eaten other foods?
Rarely.
A big speaker here, can I
Do you think I have time to go get a coffee?
Yep.
Hi.
What's in there? I've never been there. That's nice. Are we singing karaoke?
No, it's because my voice doesn't project all the way to the back.
Oh.
So this will help.
Are you spending your money?
No.
I always buy myself something. Every closing, I buy myself something.
I mean, Eddie's sitting
Not
right there.
expensive, maybe, but just buy something. I would just do it as a little gift to myself, like, nothing expensive.
Where did you go?
Florida.
They did her earrings, or.
I know that.
She said one that you would wear to work or one you would wear only in front of your husband. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, I'm quite office.
I was already back here.
Oh, you should be. It's just a pedicure.
Oh, right.
I don't really have pedicures, I just do pedicures. I did it more often. That's in the summer. Myself.
Sorry about running this right to
Oh,
page
no, no,
11.
it's okay.
I saw you did one in about 3 months.
It's pretty easy. Let's do it. And then let's do South Connect. Device, go to device.
So do you have another client lined up? Every day there'll be more and more.
While we're getting set up, I'm curious, does anybody have a New Year's goal for themselves? that-
Inside and
Small or big? A New Year's goal that you set for yourself? There's two. What's that?
Sell 20 houses?
Sell 20 houses in 2026? I like it. Okay. I dig it.
I want to be more realistic. I promised to Preet, my mentor, to sell 6 houses, and he told me I will triple it for himself. So
Okay.
get in
Wow.
the child account.
I like it. How do you intend to get there?
That's not a question. But you answered the first one, everyone.
All right. Come back to it. Anybody else? Yeah.
Sell 12 houses.
Sell 12?
Expand my business.
Okay. Do you mind if I dig into that just a second or a few times? Any questions? Why?
I want to be successful.
What does that mean?
And for my family.
What does that mean?
To be successful.
Yeah.
Work hard.
What's the result? Okay, the successful part. What does that look like?
Not to have to worry about spending money and have time for my family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Security and
Make money while I sleep.
Ooh, mailbox.
That's
You know, I think most of us would love the idea of, or the actuality of mailbox money. It's one of my favorite things in the world. I get more excited about the interest I earn on my savings than I do the income I earn in my role. And it's a lot less than the income I earn in my role. I just get so excited because it just shows up every day. I love that. The goal is to build that bigger. So what I hear there is a sense of pride. I heard pride in your voice. Like I want to feel good about that I am providing for. I want the security for my family. I don't want to have to worry. I don't know if you are worried all the time. You say that. I don't want to have to worry. those are the motivating factors. The selling 12 houses is just really quick and easier. So remember the other stuff first and foremost. What else?
I think for me, my takeaway from today's meeting and my goal for this year
No,
is the
it should,
discipline.
yeah.
Because I know if I just keep doing what I have to do, the rest just follows.
Whenever someone asks me,
Now
does
with
this
your
plan, like I have a call
try to
later
go to
today
the
where someone's
side
plan for their
and
sales business.
present.
And I guarantee at some point it'll come up is, I don't know when this happens
You
for
have to
you.
present.
I can't tell you that this plan is gonna turn into this many sales and this kind of income in this period of time. I can't. What I can tell you though is that that plan executed really well will lead to that kind of income at some point. People don't like it when I say that stuff. They're like, well, I want definitive. Well, I can't give you. That's why earlier we talked about you have to commit to this piece of it with a little bit unknown in front of you. Now, you then measure benchmarks along the way. Okay, I'm now a month in, 3 months in. Am I on pace? Am I not on pace? Okay, then if I'm not, what do I have to do to accelerate that pace? Or do I become comfortable with the ramp? It's up to you. I had in my team and for my business, it was if I was behind, once I had a large enough sample size of numbers, so just for context sake, I tracked everything, I still track everything in various places of my life and business. Back then, I tracked my attempts, my contacts, my appointments set, my appointments attended, my appointments, listing, all the basic metrics of a real estate sales business. And by doing that long enough, I was able to gather a large enough sample size to know that if I made 114 dials per day, I would sell a house every 6 days. It was it was super empowering to know those numbers because if I had a bad day, it didn't matter. If I had a bad week, it didn't matter. If I had a bad month, it mattered a little bit. However, it still didn't matter as much as it would have if I didn't know, which means I'm gonna probably sell 5 this month. Which would show up over and over again. I'd sell 1 or 2 in a month, and then all of a sudden I'd sell 4 or 5, and then I'd sell 0, and then I'd sell 10. It's because I knew the numbers, that tracked them long enough, and I had execution of it. My goal, not business related, and I do think you need one personal. We talked at our retreat in Mexico a couple weeks back about personal and professional goal. My personal one is to climb 150,000 feet in elevation this year. Now, people hear that?
Yeah.
You hear that number, you guys go, whoa. Then you break it down though. Okay, that's 12,500 feet per month. It's 421 feet per day. That's 9 minutes on a stair climber every day. Not that bad, is it? It might not be easy in the first month or 2 for some of us. I've got some history of doing this, so it's not as hard for me. However, 9 minutes is not bad, is it? Can I build discipline around 9 minutes a day? Sure. Now, I have a plan. It's 9, 12, 15, 18, 4 days in a row, and then 1 long day on the weekend, and I'll blow that goal out of the water. I got ahead early in the year through the activities, and now I just have to maintain consistency and discipline through the year, and I'll easily accomplish that goal. Same thing with contacts, same thing with appointments, same thing with everything else. So, pick something that's personal, pick something that's challenging. 150,000 is challenging. It will be challenging. I did not do that last year. It will be challenging for me this year. That's why I chose to break it down so specifically. So I know, like, I'm going to stop at the gym on the way home from here tonight.
Okay.
And I usually, when I leave Fremont in the afternoon, I'm in 4 hours of traffic because I live 4 hours away. I would never stop. Because I have that goal, because I broke it down, I know that if I just stop for 20 minutes, I can be on pace for the rest of the year still.
It's funny too, if you had that 150 number in, you're never gonna do it. Like, you have to have the smaller.
I had to. If you look at there's a note in my phone that's broken down by month, 28 to 31 days per month, and a total for the month, a total for the year, and every day there's a number next to the base. That is, where's my elevation for the
I
day?
think the whole thing that we were getting overwhelmed by thinking about the result, but I think today what we're taking away is that we just break it out and just
not detecting.
start writing the first step, like putting on your shoes.
End in mind. What do I want? And why do I want? So I keep going to the why. My family and I did
Can
our
you try
vision
to
boards, by the way. I was
focus?
even talking about the ones coming up. We did our vision board on New Year's Day, and a lot of as my kids were picking out their things, I was asking why. Why is that important to you? What would I look like for you this year? Even though they're 11, having this conversation. So go to the end result. One of my kids wants to join a baseball team for the first time. Great. Why? What's important about that? What does it look like? What's it do to your current routine of karate? Blah 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 blah. So going deep into why and understanding why the end result is so important to you. And then, yes, breaking it all the way back down to as ridiculous a number as you possibly can, make it as small as possible. Okay. I believe, because I don't know, that it's gonna take me X activities per day to get to that. Then you track it. So back to that one example is, when I had a large enough sample size, I had what's called the 15th protocol. It's a very common thing in a lot of sales industries and industries in general. It meant that at the 15th of the month, if I was behind in my goals for that month, I had to take a look at my activities and either increase the frequency, increase the intensity, increase the value, or a combination of those things. So instead of making 21 contacts a day, if I was behind on the 15th, or by the end of the 15th, maybe that number went to 30. Or maybe, as a recruiter, if I was behind on the 15th, what it meant was I was visiting open houses every Saturday for the rest of the month. Like, I'm
This is
gonna
yours?
add something to my activities to
Mine is
get me
not connected.
momentum.
Okay.
Is it, 30 seconds. If I add momentum to the last 15 days of the month, does it guarantee I'm gonna get the results in this month?
Yeah.
Does it give me a sense of accomplishment that I ratcheted it up, and does it carry momentum into the next month?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That was all it was. So, start with where you are, track it, and you'll know at some point in the next month, 2 months, whether you're
It's
gonna
Josh, right?
get better at it, do more of it, do it harder, or it's all, that's all the data. It's all in the data. All yours.
All mine. Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
In the back? Okay. Had a little technical difficulty. Bear with me. It's my first team meeting. So bear with me as I get everything situated. Okay, so let's start with, tell me something good. Anything happened this year that you want to share? Eddie?
We've got Tina Chi as
Oh,
our
you got
team
me!
leader.
Anyone else want to share something that's good?
I'm gonna add on to that because we hired Tina on a Tuesday, I think. And
Yeah.
the next week, she was in Mexico with us, going through our leadership retreat, 3 days of intensive stuff. And so first of all, just like, I'll make it happen. And then down there, we're on a boat going out to swim with bioluminescent plankton in the evening after a full day of leadership stuff. She's wearing a dress, and one of our other team leaders encouraged her to get in with us anyways. And all it took was just put a life jacket on. She did it, jumped in. So my point is, she's jumped into everything that we're doing so quickly because she truly, what I know about Tina from the time we spent when she was an agent here, and then obviously over the last month, is that she truly desires to help the people around her and get uncomfortable to grow. So that's what we needed in a leader. So
And,
thank you.
Mike, can I just add to that? Not only did she show up, but there's like 25 or so leaders in this room, and it's like her first day on the job, and she was as present and as in it, trying to figure out like how to make a successful business for everybody in this room as anybody there. I mean, she just jumped right in, like feet first, and was kind of
Literally.
collaborating, and she was fantastic. So
Well,
we're excited.
Very excited.
Well, thank you, Michael, and thank you, Eddie. You guys are really filling my cup today. So thank you both. I'm excited to be here. So actually, I want to start filling other people's cups. I don't see him today, but Raj is one of our new agents here, and he's been meeting with me the last week. Is he here? Oh, he's not. Well, I'm just going to share a little bit about him. So he came to me about trying to business plan for this year. And he started about a year ago, but he's really digging into it right now. He's very present. He did open houses for Ankar on Christmas Day. On Christmas Day. And us thinking like, well, it's Christmas. Probably not that many people's gonna show up. He ended up getting 5 solid leads, got a BRBC signed. So business can happen at any time. So don't, let us not get into our heads about, okay, no, that day's gonna be slow, I'm not gonna do it, or, that house has been on the market for a while, I shouldn't do an open house, it's not gonna have that much traffic, because all you need is that one.
Nice.
And I'm also having this mic because Pat told me, and a little bit of advice was that my voice wasn't projecting to the back. So I got this mic so everybody could hear me, and I mentioned on the last meeting that, I wanna make changes in this office for good. And one of them is culture, and one of them is being transparent. And I need to know from all of you if there's something that I need to do to, change this office, things that I can improve on. I'm very open to advice, very open to criticisms, because I need to know what I need to change and then put action towards it. Anybody else want to fill somebody's cup?
I'm excited to see this many people in the room.
I am too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Steve.
Growing throughout the year.
I believe most of you received that email regarding the buyer leads program. Did everybody get that? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Did you get the email?
Mike does.
Is that not everyone?
So that's being rolled out right now, and we're starting with certain agents first, and it is going to get rolled out to as many agents as
Well, in
possible.
any event,
Yeah.
The program started at midnight, and I got a lead at 2:25 a.m.
Hey.
Nice.
So we'll see where it goes.
Thank you, Steve, for saying that.
Steve, you're one of those agents that works on Christmas, aren't you? 2:45 a.m. You're
I
top of the league.
had to run here on Christmas Day for something real quick, and there was nobody on the road on Christmas Day.
Business can happen in this industry at any time.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then piggyback on what Steve said, that program is getting rolled out right now. It has not reached out to everyone yet, but we will get there.
Is that the speaker?
And we're gonna start with Steve.
There's a gremlin in your speaker.
Oh yeah, it's like making weird. So we're gonna talk about resolution and goals this year, and we're gonna have Steve, being a very veteran agent in this industry, to kind of pave the path for us.
They say after the 5th, you shouldn't say Happy New Year. So is everyone having a good year?
Yes.
All right. As Michael was talking, it reminded me that when I was 62, I climbed from 7,000 feet to 11,700 with 50 pounds on my back.
Good day.
Did you get a nosebleed?
What's that?
Did you get a nosebleed?
No, I had one day where I had a little bit of elevation, altitude got to me. But other than that, the key is got to keep hydrated,
Yeah.
drinking water, yeah. So Tina asked me to talk about business planning, goal setting, and what I do. I have to admit that, after 36 years in the business, what I do probably isn't what most people do. But I thought I'd share with you what I do, and then talk about what you should probably consider doing based on where you are in the business. So what I do basically at the end of the year is I review my 2025 business. I look at all the businesses I did. Was it buyer lead? Was it buyer? Was it seller? What the source of the business was. And then I consider what did I do that year to develop those leads, what's working, what's not working. Then the next thing I do is I prepare a pipeline of all of my buyer and seller leads for 2026. Now, as most of you know, if you follow MREA, it talks about leads, listings, and then leverage. One of the benefits of listings is that you are always getting leads, whether they're for buyers or sellers. And as the year progresses, you are going to build up a pipeline of leads. And if you do it right at the beginning of the year, you have a lot of future business waiting for you. And that's how my business is built, and that's what I've experienced year after year after year for many years. Okay. And again, what I'm sharing is a little different than what you heard from Michael. Okay, I approach the business a little differently. The other thing, and the reason I had these handed out to you, is I think it's a real good idea for you to understand where buyers and sellers find their agents. we're in an industry right now where we're being inundated by prop tech companies. And they're all trying to sell you the magic pill, the silver bullet, and tell you, all of this, do that, do this website, do social media, spend money here, spend money there. Look at those numbers. Do you see social media anywhere in either one of those charts? Now, I'll confess that I suspect the 11% at the bottom on the seller chart for other probably includes social media. Okay. But then look on the buyer side, it's not even there. Bottom line, folks, is look at the first two lines.
Yeah.
What are the two sources that have the highest percentage of lead generation? Buyer and seller leads. That's what I focus my business on. And some of you heard me talk about the piece of the pie and going after the piece of the pie. Okay? You want to go where most of the business is. Another fact, 65% of the business, be it buyers or sellers, are in what generation group, do you believe?
What percentage?
65%.
Millennials.
Baby
Boomers?
boomers.
Baby boomers represent 65% of the business. What percentage of baby boomers, old people like me, are actively on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all these places that you're being told to market to? We're not there on a regular basis. Most people, you talk to most people, they don't trust what they see online. So I just want you to put in perspective at least where the business is right now. At some point, my generation's going to move on, and the numbers will change. But for right now, the next 10, 20 years, baby boomers are still where it's at. Okay?
Can I add to it?
Sure.
So I want to add, this is not saying that you shouldn't do social
No.
media. This is just saying that
No,
right now you should focus on where the business are right now and still start your social media. Just don't expect the business to come from right away.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to share with you what I do, because I do social media. But when I share with you the numbers, you're not going to see a whole lot of social media sources. I still do it, but I can't stand here and say that it's bringing me a lot of business, or at least, and I'm put it this way, I'm not dependent on it for my business. Yeah.
I would say some of these secondary categories, like social media, are about presence of mind to those people that are in your network already. I mean, these charts you gave us tell us the whole story. And I think you just have to keep in front of people, and social media is one of the ways to keep in front of the people that are already in your social
At the end,
sphere.
yes. Everything helps create TOMA. Who knows what TOMA is? Arshita knows. Top of mind awareness. That's the key to marketing. That's what all brand marketing is all about, top of mind awareness. You want your clients, your sphere of influence, your friends, your relatives, you want everybody, when they think real estate, immediately they think of you. Does that make sense? Your marketing and social media, I mean, yeah, you've got, quote, friends, but a lot of your social media is going to strangers. They don't know you from Adam. They don't know your character, they don't know your competence, they don't know what you're about, they don't know if they can trust you. But like Tina said, it does work. I know agents out there that do it and do well, but they're doing it at a very high level. but they're not necessarily depending just solely on that. Okay, they're still doing the other things.
They're using social media as an add-on piece to support
Correct,
their
correct.
presence. It's not the sole,
Yeah.
advertising source.
Yeah, my thing is, just before I move on, my thing is, people wanna work with people they know and they trust. And you should initially, especially a lot of you are new, a lot of you should be, I tell you one-on-one, the average person knows 286 people, okay? You need to be marketing those 286 people over and over and over again, using every form of prospecting and marketing there is. Because that's where you're most likely gonna get your business, and you're gonna build more and more business up. After going through that, considering the sources, I set a volume and GCI goal for myself. 2025, I had a little off year, but 62% of my business came from my sphere of influence, past clients, client referrals. The other 38% came from EDDM mailing, internet, open house, agent referral, and a paid lead, okay? Again, no, I do social media boosts on every one of my listings. I do that, but I'm not seeing much of any kind of return on that. Again, like Tina said, I'm not saying it's not gonna work. This is a numbers game, folks. You need to track and spend time, hold your money accountable. Spend it where you know it works. Does that make sense?
And social media might be something in the future that works really well, it's just not right now, and you still wanna do it just to kind of get your presence up. You don't wanna be playing the catch-up game later on, but just don't put.
Yeah, there are agents that get leads. I'm not sitting here telling you that you're not gonna get leads from it. I'm just saying that if you really wanna build a business and know what to expect year in and year out, you've gotta be marketing the people that you know and that you've met. And we know from the conversion ratios from MREA, who's read MREA?
What
All
is
the way
MREA,
through.
Steve?
What's that?
What is it? What is MREA?
It's a red book called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, written by Gary Keller, Dave Jenks, bless his soul, and Jay Papasan. And it talks about conversion ratios. It talked about the 33 touch, now we call it the 36 touch. You touch people 36 times in a year. That leads to a conversion ratio of, for every 6 people, 1 deal. Your habit Mets, you touch them 12 times a year, and that has a ratio of 50 to 1. For every 50 people, you get 1 deal. So that tells you somewhere in the continuum, depending on where you are, that if you're touching, say, 300 people, you should do at least 6 deals to maybe as many as 50, somewhere in that range. But the ratio's better when they're the people you met, the people that know you, versus the ones that don't know you.
I just gotta say, that was really impressive math on the continuum there.
I reversed.
That was- Great job.
So here's what my pipeline looks like, and this is simply for you to kind of relate to the numbers. My pipeline, as I stand here right now, I have 4 listings totaling 6 million. I have 7 properties to be listed this quarter for 12.5 million. And I have 7 buyers that I'm actively working with, serious buyers. I got a lot of other fringe buyers, but I got serious buyers that total 8 million. Now that's like 26.5 million. Okay. Now I set a conservative goal of 30 million and 750 GCI. I'm probably, I'm being conservative. Really, in the back of my mind, it's 1 million GCI and 40 million, okay? Where did all those listings come from? The 4 listings, all past client. The 7 to be listed, 5 are sphere and past clients. One's a signed lead, and one's a paid lead, okay? Business planning. They ask me, what do you do when you plan your business? Well, the first thing I do is I calendar Michael talked about it, all of my personal time, all of my vacations, my trips, personal time. That's first. That goes in the calendar. 2025, I took 6 vacations, plus family reunion. So I was out of the office 7 times.
Can you share why putting in your vacation time and your personal time, why is that important? Why should that be the first thing that you do?
Because that's most important to me. I mean, I'm not getting any younger. You know, I want to spend time with my wife traveling and with my son from time to time. If you plan it, book it, you'll do it.
And I look at that like education too. So whether or not you agree with this guy, Be Obsessed or Be Average, 10X, Grant Cardone, whether or not you like him, agree with him, or whatever, he said something that stuck with me for a long time about education, is that he always puts 10% of his time and his money towards education. And I'm going to use this as an analogy to the vacation piece, because there was a time where 10% of my time was always the same. 10% of my money was a lot less than it might be today. And so the things I did for education were less expensive. Same thing with vacation time. You hear Steve, 7 vacations, including the family reunion camp, travel the world, those things. Some of you might hear that and go, well, I don't have the means to do that yet. So your vacations just look different. Your personal time looks different. I have on my calendar every week a date night with one of my twin sons, so we flip-flop every week. That costs me anywhere between 0 and however many hundreds of dollars I want to spend that week. And it's less about the fact that he's got more means than some of us in the room, or less than others, whatever. It's more about that it's scheduled, it's purposeful, and then you fit it within your means at the time. So I just want to make that irrelevant for all of us, that we can all do exactly what he's doing, just might look different cost-wise.
Yeah, you just want to, put it down in your calendar, at least. Say, I want to take, I work basically 60 to 70 hours a week, or at least 3,000 hours, okay? That's a lot of time. So I try to at least take 1 week off a quarter, and then add in some 3 days. I'm going to Vegas in 3 weeks for 3 days. So they're small trips too, but it still breaks from this. Okay?
Recharge.
Yeah. And then, but what helps is when the money side, when you have the money to do it, and then you pay for it right away. I mean, I've got, 10 days, 9 nights in Maui in September that are already booked, paid for, everything's done. So I know I'm going on that trip. That's not a maybe, that's a done deal.
But we need to start with our personal life, because then it also helps us set up our business goals.
Yeah,
and it also
just
drives
start,
your business goals and how hard you'll be working.
Let me give you a quick overview of what I do, what my business plan looks like. It's quarterly market reports, so that's next on my list, because the base reports probably just came out today or tomorrow, and that's the data I'll use to do a Tri-City quarterly market report. I do just listed and just sold reports to my database and to the EDDM carrier routes where all the listings are that I sold. I send items of value to my database. I have a database over 700, but I regularly send about 500. I'll send items of value to them throughout the year. For example, one I'm working on now, I haven't quite finished it yet, is advising everybody about the San Francisco Bay Area Air Quality Management District, outlawing gas furnaces at the end of this year and what that looks like. Okay? You think that's of value to people? Especially if they have to, did I say furnace? It's water heaters. If they have, if they're due for furnaces are in 2029. Okay. Open houses. I do just listed, just sold social media. And at the end of the year, I send my infamous business card calendar, which my clients just, rave about. I get all these notes and thank yous. Oh, thank you for that calendar. It's a little calendar, but they've been getting it for. I have people that have been getting mail from me for 36 years. And some of you see me do transaction trees. I have clients that I can trace as many as 18 deals from, either direct or indirect from them and their family. It just grows and grows and grows. I get 18, I think one 18, I think another 15, another one 12, another one 10. That's what this is all about. Now, again, it takes money to make money in this business. You know, you've got to have some money because you've got to have money to spend on marketing. You can't just rely solely on what's free. Now, I know Stephen's going to teach business plan in a couple days. Just real quick, I don't know how many people raised their hand when in the class you asked about who had an income goal.
One.
Here, okay. Think about how much money. Think about an amount you'd like to make pre-tax. You got a number in your head? It's got to be smart. Well, let's just take $100,000. How many people would like to make $100,000? Okay. So what does it take to make $100,000 pre-tax in this business? Well, on top, to figure it out, you got to start with $100,000, and I'm going pre-tax. Now you got to figure out what are my expenses for the year. So here in Keller Williams, you've got a cap, you got royalty. Just so you understand, at 2.5% commission, I use 3, but I'm using 2.5 for you. At 2.5% commission, you've got to do $6.4 million to cap. Okay. So you do $6.4 million, 2.5%. You assume 32 cap, 3,000 royalty, another 2,400 for office expense. And if you tack on another 23.6 for all other expenses, advertising, marketing, auto expenses, and so forth, that puts you at $160,000, which you need to bring in. GCI 160. 160 GCI at 2.5% is $6.4 million, and that will net you pre-tax $100,000. Now, what's that 6.4 million translate to units? Well, that's based on what's your average sales price going to be. My average sales price in 2025 was 1.4 million. You know what that 6.4 at 1.4 million? 5 units. That's one every 2 months. That makes you your 100,000. Does that kind of help you kind of mentally understand when we talk about, what's my goal and how do I get there? What does it take? Now, for those of you that are doing geographic farming, 2 things you've got to look at is what is the average sales price in that farm, and what is the average turnover? How many homes are going to sell in that farm, and then how many of those am I going to get out of the total? You'll be surprised sometimes when you look at a farm. Turnover they may not. Some neighborhoods don't even turn over 10 units in a year. So you need to know that when you're picking your farm, okay? Because again, you go back to here's the pie. I'm not getting 100% of it. Then you got to look to see, is there any agents that are dominating that market? Does anybody have market share? You'll find that it's kind of interesting. Some agents we correlate to certain farms, but they don't necessarily have high market share. So, but that's another thing to evaluate when you're looking at the geographic farming. And geographic farming takes longer to convert to business as well. Any questions? Anything? Somebody's got to have a question.
Do you need help with some of your buyers?
Do I need help with my, the thing is, with most of my buyers, the properties aren't there. The properties don't exist in their criteria.
Like it's more or less? They're looking for some, like.
No, they just, the properties just just aren't there. Their criteria is such that what they're looking for doesn't exist. I mean, I've got one guy that wants 2 particular zip codes, okay? And there's not a big turnover in those areas. And he does not, you know, we've talked about other areas, but he's got 2 specific areas that he wants, okay? I've got other people that have, because I've had a lot of land listings, large land listings. I get a lot of buyers looking for that type of property, and there's not a lot of those out there.
Can I add?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Shalini.
Mhm.
Joined KW Keller Williams not even a month back, I guess, yeah. But my question would be, we talk about the units, the farms. So what would be your suggestion to the new agents? Do you think keeping the area concentrated to start with, or look for the opportunity? What?
My suggestion is that you focus on what I talked about for the last 30 minutes, or however long. Focus on the people you know first. Build your database. Your job every day is to feed your database.
Okay.
And once you've got that going, then look to master that, then go to the second one. At least spend 3 to 6 months. I was fortunate when I was in my mid-20s. I was working as a production control and purchasing manager for a water heater manufacturer in Newark. Okay, and I was meeting a lot of people. And the gentleman that I worked for, that worked with me, he knew I was going to go to law school. His expectation was that I grew up here, I'm going to go to law school, I'm going to come back, and I'm going to open up a law practice in Fremont. That's what he figured I would do. He said, Steve, and I'm 23, he says, Steve, start saving the names and contact information of everybody you know. And so I went back, I'm 23, I went back and go, here's my parents' mailing list when I graduated high school, here's my parents' mailing list when I graduated college. Well, I didn't quite have it yet, but when I got into business, here's my college mailing list, here's the one when I graduated law school. I mean, we had a party that took 2 yards, we had over 200 people. Okay, when I graduated law school, huge number of people. I had a database of everybody that worked in that plant during the 7 years I was there. I had that database. I had a database for everybody that retired from the steel mill where my dad worked. I had massive, and then I started doing my high school reunions. And that was another database. So see, and then I saved business cards. So I hit the ground running when I got into business in 1989. I had a massive database that I had built thanks to the advice of that engineer back when I was 23 years old. So I didn't start in real estate till I was 36.
Were there any people in the database of your parents-in-law's school, steel mill that you reached out to and were like, why are you contacting me, or never responded, or that you never did anything with?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah.
I asked the question because I was smiling and smirking a little bit when he was talking about this, because one of the things I did when I got into this business was I got my mom's database, I got my mother-in-law's database, and I started calling all of them. And some were like, who are you? I'm Nancy's kid. Nancy who? Ah, shoot, I gotta go a little bit further faster.
Yeah.
I called the neighbors of my mother-in-law. Yeah, I'm the idiot that you probably saw stumbling around drunk once in a while in your neighborhood. Like,
Right.
whatever, you know, it's just, and I felt stupid at times. We talked about this as a group earlier. I felt dumb at times because some of them were just like, yeah, go away.
Yeah,
And
back
yet,
then, yeah.
stuff came from it.
Yeah, back then I mainly just had addresses.
Yeah,
Email
for
didn't
mailing, sure.
exist, okay? And I just had addresses, and it didn't have the ability to, except for a phone book, maybe to look up phone numbers, you know. It's a little different, yeah.
I
Just
have a
to hit
question on
everybody
this.
over the head with it, I'm gonna say that, I'll be the third old guy in this room to tell you that if you're waiting for a silver bullet, if you're sitting around all day trying to design the perfect flyer, you're missing the point. And I'm saying this way because I learned it the hard way. People were telling me it's all about meeting people, and I tried to reinvent it 1,000 ways. I tried to do all of those other activities because I
Same.
thought I have to be a hard worker. I have to work every day, so I have to find these things to do with myself. It's all about either the people you know or the people you're gonna know. Right? It's all about people. It's it. That's the silver bullet. There's no other silver bullet, everybody.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
should find out.
yeah.
There's none.
One last thing on business planning, as far as calendaring and set aside time. You know, we say, you know, we've taught for a long time that, you know, lead generate 3 hours a day, okay? So set aside 5 days a week, 3 hours a day. But what is that, here's the other thing though. Here, people are 3 hours, man, I don't wanna be on the phone for 3 hours. The 3 hours break down like this. The first hour is preparing for those calls, determining who you're gonna call, assimilating who you're gonna call, what information you're gonna share with them. Then call for an hour, and then the third hour is the follow-up, the handwritten notes, the emails, and all the follow-up, to everything that you generated out of that call, you've gotta follow up, because the devil's in the follow-up, and that's where most of us slip and fall off, is follow-up. We can get, you know, talk to people and have all this stuff going, yeah, I'll do that, and then you get caught up in the business and you don't follow up. I'm bad at it. That's where I have to constantly improve myself, is the follow-up. But again, my point is, spend some time preparing. Don't just know who you're gonna call, what your purpose is, what your message is gonna be. Be prepared for that. And then follow up, you know, the handwritten note. I'm big on handwritten notes. You know, Brian Buffini, Business by Referral. Man, how many pieces of mail we get now? And I come home and I look at the counter and there's nothing there.
You
So
have to
when
do a mailbox, Steve.
I get really excited when I get like an
Yeah, well-
actual like handwritten letter or a card.
Yeah, Pete, yeah.
Because most of it, every day is just junk mail, right? So when I get that
Oh,
one
yeah.
card, I'm like, oh, who is it? You know.
Well, and again, I've got branded envelopes that I've been using for years and years and years. I know my mail gets read. I mean, every 3 calls that I get or on the phone, they always go, oh, Pierce the Market. You know, it comes out of their mouth before it does mine, because they've seen it over and over and over again.
But also they have that relationship with you, and that's why it's really important to get close with people and build that
Yeah.
bond.
I hope that helped. And when my door's open, you're always welcome to pop in, you know, if you've got a question or you need help with something. The one thing that I'll share is, if you do design something that you want to mail out or whatever it is, have one of us look at it. Have somebody look at it before you send it out. Because the one thing I hate is to see people generate a piece, and then I happen to see it after the fact, and it just, you know, here's the thing to remember. Whatever you send out, it's got to have a call to action. It's got to give them a reason to pick up the phone or send a text or send an email to you. When anything you draft, you look at it and say, does this give them a reason to call me or email me or text me? Because if it doesn't, you're wasting your money. How many people are going to family reunion? Need more. Well, for those of us that are going, we'll bring back tips and ideas on this, what I've been talking about from family reunion, because there's always nuggets that come out of breakout sessions at family reunion. That's another thing. basically, going to family was one of my pet peeves. I mean, I've been with the company now since late 2001, and I have not missed one yet. I did one or two virtual, one because I had to. $100, say $200 a month will pay for family reunion. You don't have to stay in the best hotel, right? Deonda, you're going again? G2? You're going? Good. At least I won't, last year I was the only person to win.
I was there.
Well, you were there, but you're in a different market, so.
I'm here, right here.
No, we hung out a few times, yeah. All right, I hope that helped.
Steve?
Harshita shared a flyer with, a little questionnaire with everybody. Oh, not yet, just kidding, not yet. So she's gonna pass that around. Steve talked about, what his goals are, how he's getting his business. This is kind of to tap into why. So remember I asked Steve, like, why is your vacation the first thing that you put on your calendar, right? So we wanna start there. And this worksheet kind of helps you out a bit. Basically, take some time. You don't have to do it right now, but take some time to really answer those questions. What are you looking for? Because once you figure out your why, then you have your purpose. And then we can work on your business planning. And if you go to Stephen's business planning session, which is Thursday, I believe, then you can figure out what you actually
I do them every week too. If someone can't make it this week, I'm doing that next week too.
So then you can figure out exactly what you want to make and what will make you happy. Because in this industry, it gets a little lonely sometimes. And we need something to keep us going. So this will help you figure out what you really want and keep your eyes on the goal. You have it? I think she'll pass it out. Yeah, she'll pass it out. And if you have questions on that, we could work on it together. Want to talk about our wins for this year. December is typically a very slow month, but yet we still had 19 closings last month.
That's awesome.
And here are our top agents that sold last month.
All right.
Woo!
Wow. Great.
Family reunion, that's what Steve talked about. If you're going, I highly recommend that you go. This year we'll have a lot of top speakers. So Gary Vaynerchuk, does anybody know who that is?
Who did you say?
Gary Vaynerchuk?
If you don't know, check him out. He's cool.
That's
He's
what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
He's one of the early adopters of YouTube videos for his wine company and his dad's liquor store, and then now he's just a massive name in
Yep.
social.
He basically took his dad's mom and pop liquor store and made it a whole online industry business, right?
So cool.
It's very cool. And it ties into everything that we do as well, even though it's a different industry, but same concept.
Can I add something? So if you're going to family reunion anyway, you should go to the CEO Summit. I've gone the last 2 years and they are so incredible. And one of the speakers coming up, Will Goodera, he wrote a book that I read that I really, really loved about how he turned around this fine dining restaurant in Manhattan to be a Michelin award-winning fine dining restaurant.
Second best book I've ever read.
It's such an amazing book. It's called Unreasonable Hospitality. And it has amazing lessons for us about how to do real estate, even though it's about fine dining. So I'm really looking forward to that. And the whole CEO Summit, every year I pull great stuff from it that impacts how I do business out here.
That's a good lineup.
If you're going anyway, go to CEO Summit.
I want to welcome Peter Fong. Is
Welcome,
he here?
Peter.
Okay. Corinne?
Corinne? She's not here either.
Okay. So this is our calendar for next week. It's always available in the front desk as well. And we have disclosures class with Eddie today at 12.
5 minutes.
At
Oh, in
12?
5
I thought it
minutes.
was at 1.
No, it's
No,
at
it's
12.
at 12. 12 to 3.
Oh.
And then
Extra hour, Eddie. Yeah,
Really?
3 hours of Forbes. Who did it?
Oh, yeah.
Hi guys.
And then we have vision board workshops
That's
on
tomorrow.
Wednesday. Oh,
Wait,
tomorrow.
listen to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so So they're looking forward to seeing all of you. They'll be supplying magazines and boards. We were just talking about business planning, so it gives you a day to think about. You might even have in your head, but there'll be a ton of magazines. You might even think about bringing pictures of some of your family, things that are on your board that you can put on your vision board tomorrow. So it'll be a lot of fun, and listen at are looking forward to it. Okay.
Can I just say that I love how you combine. You get people in the room to work on their vision for themselves in 2026 and then educate them at the same time, and I think all of us could learn from that. What are things that our communities, our databases would like to do that then allows us the opportunity to educate and or at least get into the conversation around things? It's a brilliant technique. Love it.
And it's your time, so we can make it really organic. We can go around the room and talk about goals, and it's just a great time to collaborate, and it's really inspirational.
And that worksheet that you guys have helps with that as well. So if you want to take a look, maybe tonight, then you'll come prepared tomorrow for the vision board. Oh, and by the way, you could get personal with it. You could write what anything that you want, whatever your actual dreams are. Write it in there. Put it in put it in an envelope. I said red because Chinese New Year is coming up, and I'm looking for it. Anyway, put it in an envelope. I'll keep it in my office. I won't read it, and then we'll revisit next year and see how you compared.
It's a really cool activity to do. We do this every year as well, where we write letters to ourselves and we don't look at them for 12 months. It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, and I won't be reading them, so you could write whatever you want. But we will work on your business plan and your goals, so to help you fulfill your actual dreams.
Please RSVP for vision board class because lunch is provided, and they also have to get the materials accordingly. I'm going to give the head count for food after this meeting, so please RSVP now. Thank you.
Should I keep that on there for a bit? We have our annual State of the Company meeting coming up. That's next Monday from 12 to 1:30. It's really important that we all go on this meeting. It's going to be streamed live over here. And Rick is going to talk about the 2025 year in review, look forward into 2026 projections, and we have advancements in integrating AI.
Yeah, I'll speak to that for just a quick second. A ton of research goes into putting that call together, because what we intend and what Rick intends to do on that call is to provide you information that makes you more knowledgeable so you can become the expert or become more of the expert for your databases. So when you're talking to people out there, you feel confident and you've got the right information, and then being able to take that and use it, like Steve said, what I just said too, and actually go to your database with that content, with those things that they will want to know or need to hear. So it's not just, hey, here's what it happened. It's how do you take it, use it, and make yourself smarter and more confident, and also go give more value to your prospects and database. It's his big one for the year, and because I know how much time he puts into it, it's worth being there.
And this is just part one. I think part two is the new car form on Wednesday.
That's correct.
And then we will actually have a mastermind app right after the second one to kind of go over, review everything. Oh, this is the second one. This is the one. This is the second one. This talks about all the new changes on the car forms.
Be there.
Yes,
Yeah.
be there.
Be there.
There are changes in place.
Be there or be square.
This should be in your emails too.
Okay.
And so you should be able to, and you can always text or call me if you need an invite.
The masterminding session we'll be having right after that. Then we have Broker's Corner. No?
We have big disclosures.
Oh, yeah,
So
big-
you should go.
I don't know. You have to go over that. Ask the
Oh.
question.
Well, I wasn't prepared for this one, I'm sorry. So this is the data that was provided to us of our Tri-Cities pending from March 2004 to December 29th of last year. And
Tina?
yes.
Just wanted to add, Alan ran that on December 29th. And at that time, Tri-City, we had 118 active and pending were 102. January 1st, we were down to 101 and 99 pending. So we were at a 99% pending ratio. But the market's performing exactly as we expected and anticipated that it would. We're starting the year out with about 100 units total. That's houses, condos, townhouses in the Tri-City area, which is fairly consistent with the last 11 years, 11, 12 years. We had a couple of years when we hit 50, but we're at 100. That's kind of our sweet spot to be at this time of year. And as you've heard me say before, listings are going to start, the supply is going to start going up, buyers are going to start coming out, and that should lead to multiple offers. So should be the next 2 quarters should be good for sellers, not so good for buyers. The buyers have been waiting.
We'll share this slide with everybody and then we'll go.
Tri-Valley performs about the same as we do.
And we have some upcoming events. We have Smooth Closing with Lucy that was just here on January 21st from 10 to 11. We have some coming soons. G2 has a coming soon in San Jose. Do you want to give any information on that?
It's just through a referral in San Jose. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom townhouse, as you can see. We're looking for around 1.5 million.
1.5.
When's that coming, G2?
Probably. The seller's really reluctant to get in the market because of Christmas. We actually got it listed last month. And she's reluctant, so I'm pushing her to get in the market now because I saw a lot of properties are selling actually, to be frank. Like the one in Palo Alto, I got like 19 offers. So people are I should get it this month. It's signed, it's in the system. It's just put it up.
Abby has a listing coming up in Hayward. It's going live on Thursday. So if you have anybody looking at Hayward, that's a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 2,000 square feet.
What's the price on it? Because you're in the way, so we can't see.
There's no, oh.
Move, Tina.
Just listed. Onkar has one that's a condo in Fremont, 539. I think that's the one that Raj hosted an open house for on Christmas and got like 5 leads. Ron has a listing in Livermore.
Long time.
And then we have Steve with the land. That's it. Oh, and GT is providing us lunch today?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. I want to thank GT for providing us with lunch today.
Thank you.
So the calendar has the disclosures class on for 12, but we'll give everybody an opportunity to go use the bathroom, maybe get some food, and join us back in this room if you're going to be here for the disclosures class, maybe with your food at around 12:15, 12:20. Does that sound good? Okay.
And I have some pens for everybody. So what happened was a few weeks ago I had a lunch here for some of our buyers and sellers. And I felt a bit odd, not you guys are not